planet one. Race one, love one, people one. Too many things that's causing one to forget about the main cause.
All right, welcome back to Evolutionary Entrepreneurs 2015, and we are wrapping up day one with Bret Gregory. Hi, Bret. I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, Sage. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here with you. This is just amazing.
It is so awesome to be here, and welcome back to every single one of you that has been with us for all 3 interviews on day one. You get the gold prize. And I guess I just want to say, like, I'm so touched by the energy that we moved with Neil and with Panache over the last hour and a half or so. I just feel like I'm like walking in a cloud. I don't know about you guys, but if this is day one, whoa, I can't imagine what the next 2 days are going to be like. So now that Neil and Panache have really sort of blown us open into the beingness of business, Bret is going to come in here and he is going to give us some really solid ways to take that beingness, that love that we're cultivating inside of us, and actually use it to reach out to people online. And if there's anybody in the world that I would choose to have bring this strategy to you, it's Bret. So Bret, I'm just so honored to be here with you.
Thank you so much. It's just, I'm delighted to be here. I mean, the speakers you have on this panel blew my mind, and it's just an honor for me to be here. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And for those of you guys that are on the Facebook page with us, please do continue to use the Facebook page as a running note-taking guide. And when Bret spouts out all of his wisdom, you know, jot it down on the Facebook page. For those of you that are not there, you can click the link below to hop over, join the conversation, because this is about forming a tribe of evolutionary entrepreneurs. You guys are building evolutionary businesses. That means businesses that evolve your clients, they evolve you, and they evolve the world as you're building them. And it's no small task. You guys are really doing something courageous. So we want to know what you're up to. We want to support you, and we want to make sure that you guys are getting everything out of this incredible event as possible. So head over to the Facebook page, introduce yourself, let us know who you are, and jot down the aha moments over there. I want to tell you just a little bit about Bret before I dive in here. If you don't know Bret Gregory, he grew the largest yoga Facebook page in the world with 1.3 million likes. He is the first person ever to do $1.5 million in worth of sales to customers in 2009, just customers that he met off of Facebook. He's also developing an eco-friendly holistic health and wellness community in Costa Rica that's going to be opening next year, which you'll find me there. You know, by the end of the year, I'll be camped out there.
We're going to be doing retreats in Costa Rica.
I'm so excited to bring my clients down there. If you're
Nice.
my client, good news. I'm taking you to Costa Rica next year. And really, Bret creates 6- and 7-figure income streams for conscious coaches, entrepreneurs, and small business owners. And I really believe that Bret has the best Facebook strategy in the industry. And that's why I actually bring him in to train my clients on Facebook. I can't think of anybody more suitable to be bringing you guys some really solid strategy today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is so exciting. So why don't you tell me how you want to get started? Because I'm ready to jump in, or if you want to do some background, you let me know.
I just want to hear from you, Bret. I think you're one of the role models in bridging strategy with consciousness. You know, because it's like, you know how to use Facebook. You know how to use Facebook to get clients and make money. You have also kept a firm hold on the conscious community in Costa Rica, what it really means to give back to the world through your business. When you found out that this whole event was a fundraiser for the rainforest, you were like, I'm in. You know, I remember that moment where you just aligned to the vision. And so can you talk a little bit about how that journey has been for you? Because I know we have listeners on the line that are evolving into being business owners, and they want to keep a firm hold on doing good work in the world and doing the right thing for humanity, and learning the strategy to actually make the money to get them the freedom that they deserve in their businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my journey really began in 2006. And from 1996 to 2006, I actually had my own financial advisory firm. And really, by all objective measures, I was very successful, except there was something really missing in my life, because my life was really focused on making money. Now, we made a lot of money for our clients. We made a lot of money for ourselves. But I did not have the solid foundation. I felt like something was missing. I felt like, gosh, there's got to be something more to what I can do. And then I had a real tragedy that happened in our family. Unfortunately, in January of 2006, my brother woke up one morning and all the skin on his left arm, all the way down to the tips of his fingers, was blue. And we come from a family of physicians, and he showed our father, who's a doctor, and he said, "Eric, this is an emergency. We've got to rush you to the hospital right now. This is serious." And they couldn't figure out what was wrong. They did a battery of tests, but unfortunately, a couple weeks later, we got the news, and he was diagnosed with stage 4 non-small cell carcinoma. That's a deadly form of non-smoking lung cancer, and they gave him 9 months to live. And almost exactly 9 months later, he passed away peacefully in our father's arms. And that event completely rocked my world. I had to look inward and say, what am I doing? Spending all of my time, energy, and effort in a soul-sucking career that's not dedicated to helping others. And I mean, I literally cast off my suit and tie. I sold my financial advisory business. I moved down to Costa Rica. I bought a 164-acre mountain. We bought a jungle. We bought a rainforest. We have 5 waterfalls, whitewater ocean views, and we're dedicating we're building a super eco-friendly, holistic, integrative health and wellness community and yoga retreat center. And my idea was that I was just going to help as many people as I possibly could. That's what's going to fill up my soul. That's what's going to help the world and ultimately make me truly happy. And so that's where the journey began. And while all of that was going on, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I felt really fulfilled. I was really excited. I was, working from my heart. And then reality set in because I purchased the property in 2007. And what happened in 2008? The global financial crisis. And I found out that the reality of building this community was far harder than I thought, and all the traditional tools that I had at my disposal of marketing, none of them were working, and I was getting really nervous that I was going to lose everything. And then something interesting happened in 2008. Facebook hit 600 million users, and I said, if I was getting really worried that we were going to lose our property, I had to come up with $1 million, and I only had 12 months to pay off the seller. And we decided we were going to create some lots in our eco-friendly wellness community, and we needed 7 customers to come in and join us and make this reality into a dream, or this dream into a reality. And what we were able to do was just focus. I put 12 hours a day into Facebook, and I did nothing more than say, I'm going to figure out how to get customers to find us on Facebook. And for every technique that I'm going to show you today that works amazingly well, there were 20 of them that didn't work at all. And failure after failure led to one success, and then more led to one more success. But we persevered, and we were able to actually attract 200,000 people to our Facebook page. We were able to build a very small email list, 2,500 people to the email list, and we were able to turn that into 20 people flying down to Costa Rica from Europe, Canada. And that led to 7 sales for a total of $1.5 million, and we saved the business and saved the community. And it was really all from Facebook initially.
Every time you tell that story, I just want to point out a couple things that you did that were evolutionary. You really asked what's working in the world now. You were willing to give it your all. You put your stake in the ground. You're like, I'm going to do everything in my power to make this happen. And you were willing to spend 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. It's like you just gave it your all, and you knew you weren't going to do that forever, but you knew the stakes were high. And I really want to just encourage every single one of you that the stakes are high. You know you want to change the world. You know you need to make a living doing this. Bret is a walking example of really like that evolutionary commitment that's required to have this thing really take root and grow into a thriving business that's producing fruit for you. Now, Bret, I'm wondering if you can give us some solid Facebook strategy, because here's what I know, and here's why I bring you in to teach Facebook marketing to my clients, because we can all waste hours on Facebook. It's overwhelming. It's like a big party. So how do we actually turn Facebook into paying clients, and where do we start? And give us some good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, first off, you said the biggest thing there. Facebook can literally be the world's biggest time suck if you allow it. So the number one way to turn Facebook into a productive way to spend your time is to actually stop looking at your news feed. So this is a little tip that I didn't plan on giving, but you asked the question. Stop looking at your news feed. And the news feed is what you see when you pull out your phone on Facebook and you see what your friends are doing for lunch and what they had for dinner or breakfast or whatever. That's where all the time wasting comes from. Probably 98% of the time wasting comes from your news feed. If you stop watching your news feed, you can all of a sudden turn Facebook into an incredibly productive place where you can start attracting customers. Well, what I want to share with you today, and I love it when I get a chance to teach this information to you when I'm speaking at your engagements there on the California coast. It's always so much fun teaching to your tribe of amazing women. And what we're going to talk about today is the science of sharing, and it's specifically how to get your content shared and attract customers now. So I'm going to show you is my #1 viral Facebook strategy that got us over 2.4 million likes, called the photo album stack, and it's unbelievably simple. You can do it in 5 minutes a day, and it's absolutely free. You'll also learn the science behind the sharing and what is it that actually makes your content go viral. And it's probably different than you think. And I'm also going to show you how to create your own viral photo post so that you can attract conscious customers now through purpose-based marketing, and I'll explain what that is. And if you watch this to the end, I'm going to give you a free gift. I'm going to give you my top 50 all-time most viral photo post templates. So I went through our 2.4 million likes and curated the top 50 like-getting posts, and I put it in a fully editable format that I'm going to give you at the end.
And that's for people that donate to the rainforest, right?
That's right. That's for people that donate to the rainforest, and we're excited about that.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to just really underline, you guys, that having your Facebook posts go viral, that's like the whole goal, right? And that's the thing that we do. We get on Facebook and we're like, how many people have commented on my post? How many people have commented? And it's like, oh my gosh, nobody came to my party, and we go into rejection. There's research that says a lot of people get off Facebook feeling worse than when they first got on Facebook. This is one of the ways to counter that, and Bret actually showed me this in his dining room with his 2 little kids running around. We were like searching for fun photos online, and I'll never forget that as soon as I posted some of these incredible photos matched with my posts, people started sharing it and passing it on. So good. So show us how to do it.
We're going to get into that juicy stuff. Well, I told you, so for these, our Facebook pages, so I told you a little bit of a story of how we came to be, and where we had 20 different pages that completely failed miserably, but then we had one success, and I started this page called Costa Rica. We started putting photos in a very specific order, which is now the photo album stack that you're about to learn, and we very quickly grew the largest Costa Rica Facebook page in the world. And this is where we took our fans from this Facebook page, we drove traffic to our website, and we were ultimately able to get 2,500 email addresses and do 1.5 million in sales in 2009. So this can work extremely well for you, the photo album stack, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just a fluke, so I started another page called Yoga. And we very quickly, through the photo album stack and another technique that I teach called the Global Ad Secret, we grew the largest yoga Facebook page in the world with over 1.3 million likes. But then I said, okay, this works great for a Facebook page called Yoga and one for Costa Rica, but what if, but I'm an author, and what if I want to promote my book, or what if you're a coach or you're a speaker? What do you do then? And so I tried the same techniques with my Facebook page, Bret Gregory, and in just 4 months, we went from 0 likes to over 200,000 likes using the photo album stack and the Global Ad Secret. So I said, okay, now I've got it. And lots of my friends started asking me, hey, Bret, how do you do this? Can you teach us? So we started teaching folks. And now what I'm most excited about now is the New Earth Project, and this is the concept where we are taking a global online community and we're turning it into the physical community in Costa Rica. We're partnering with the New Earth Project. It's a global movement of sovereignty, and this is where we're developing our super eco wellness community. And if you think Facebook isn't real, We're raising $40 million to build this community. So don't think for a moment it's not real. It is, and it can do wonders for your business while you're doing good out there in the world.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And it's such a total model of collaborative evolutionary leadership in business, right? Just like
Absolutely.
Here at Evolutionary Entrepreneurs, we're partnered with Pachamama. We're raising money for the rainforest. It's the same thing. And so you guys, as you're listening to Bret talk, keep in mind that, you know, some of you are resisting moving forward with like one niche or one message because you think it means you have to leave other passions behind. You don't, right? Like, go for your business, bring your message, help people lose weight, help people do whatever it is that you do, and then build in your passion, right? You don't have to leave it behind, but the more money you make and the more you build a tribe around your message, the more you're going to be able to do something good, like start up a wellness community in Costa Rica or raise money for the rainforest. You know, I was in Ecuador with Lynn Twist last August with the Achuar people, and I'm an internet marketer, and I was in the rainforest for 2 weeks. So it's like you don't have to give that part of you up if you just go for it. Okay, so keep going.
Well, I mean, and that part of you is actually the key to virality, and you're going to see here in just a minute. So let's start off with the photo album stack, because this is unbelievably simple. And really what it is it's a Facebook hack. It's a very powerful, simple Facebook hack. And what we're doing with the photo album stack, all it is you stack photos, or you place photos into one photo album multiple times, so day after day, and you're stacking photos into one album. So why should you care about this? Well, in this example, if you look closely, you can see we posted 9 photos, and you can see the number of likes. 69,288 likes, 17,000 shares, 100,000 people saw the post. Now, we did not get all those likes, comments, and shares on one post. It's very hard to get tons and tons and tons of likes, comments, and shares on one post. It's very easy to get a few likes at a time over and over and over again. And this is the magic of the photo album stack. So first off, what is it? You put photos into one album. And how does that help you? Well, the photo album stack helps boost your reach. So Facebook has algorithms that determine how many people see your post. That's also called your reach. Now, they used to have an algorithm that is no longer called EdgeRank, but their new algorithms, basically, suffice it to say, is the more likes you have, the more you get. The more you get, the more people see your posts. And that's basically how it works. So in the photo album stack, anytime you post one photo on Facebook, it always starts out with 0 likes, 0 comments, and 0 shares. But an album's different. The album will retain a cumulative number of likes. So let's say you do the photo album stack day 1, and you get 10 likes on your album. Don't worry about the likes on the photos themselves. This is for the album. You get 10 likes on the album. Day 2, 24 hours later, you put 4 or 5 more photos into the album. Now the album starts with 10 likes. You have the cumulative number of likes. Why do you care about that? Well, because the more likes you have, the more likes you get. The more you get, the more people see your posts. So in this case here, because we had been doing the photo stack for about a year, we had accumulated just a couple likes a day, a few more and a few more and a few more, and we have accumulated 69,000 likes. And what that does is that arrow at the bottom where 115,000 people saw our post, that's the magic. That's what we want. That's our reach. So first off, it's important to know that the photo album stack lives on your business page. It does not live on your personal profile. So you can see my business page is Bret Gregory and my personal profile are Bret Gregory. The photo stack lives on the business page. So that's where you're going to do it. And what you're going to do is you're going to post 4 photos into one album at a time. And when you do that, what you're going to be able to do is you will be able to accumulate the photos into your album. And so then one thing, and I'm going to be giving you my top 50 all-time most viral photos, so you can take those photos and you can put it right into the album. And that's where the magic is. Now, some people say, you know, Bret, that's great if you have a yoga page, but I don't have yoga photos. And so how can I do this photo album stack? Well, what I'm going to encourage you to do, and you'll see here in just a minute with some of the free resources that I'm going to give you, is I'm going to encourage you to use viral photos that help promote the values that you have, the same values that you share. So you might be an accountant, but you value helping children in the rainforest. I want you to post photos that are focused on your values. And the reason why is because you're going to attract customers who value what you value. And this is written by a wonderful book by an author named Simon Sinek, who wrote a wonderful book called Start With Why. He said people don't do business with what you do, they do business with why you do it. So the more you can put your values right up front out there on Facebook, the more you're going to attract customers who value what you value. And those are the better kind of customers. The other thing that you can do with the photo album stack is you can post anything. So I've got this photo up here. You can see our friend Lisa Sasevich there that I'm with. And I posted this photo after I went to an event and I saw a bunch of our friends. We took photos of ourselves with our camera, and I put these photos into the photo album stack. So you can see here we posted these 10 photos. It has 2,926 likes, 121 shares, 121 comments, and a lot of shares. Now, we didn't get that all at once. We accumulated them just a few likes at a time. That's what's easy, slow and steady growth, and that helps you get seen by so many more people. So this is really interesting when it comes to what kind of content gets shared. So a professor out of the Wharton School of Business, a professor of marketing by the name of Kathleen Milkman, she studied over 7,000 New York Times posts and found something incredibly interesting. She was looking for what is it that makes a post go viral. And what she found was incredibly fascinating. What she found was the photos that go most viral have a very positive valence. Well, if you look up valence on Wikipedia, it's how positively or negatively emotionally charged your content is. So for example, this photo on the left connotes anger. It's very negative. We posted it on our Facebook page and only got 14 likes. The photo on the right is incredibly positive. It's this kid laughing, his camel's cracking up. Got 4,485 likes. That is a very positive valence. Well, similarly, Professor Milkman discovered that the thing that also makes the posts go most viral is how high or low the emotional charge is. So, for example, we posted these two photos on our yoga page. The photo on the bottom, beautiful model in an outdoor setting doing yoga. You'd think it would go viral. It did not at all. It got 124 likes, whereas this photo on the top has a much higher emotional charge, and it's this fantasy acrobatic archer. She's not even doing yoga, but on our yoga page it got 4,276 likes and tons of comments and shares. So really when you're looking for what kind of content should I be posting on Facebook, you want the positive and high emotional charge. Positive valence and high emotional charge. So here is the formula. Your positive photo plus high emotion is your most viral photo. Well, that's known as the integral effect. And what we see here is this is a technique that any of you can use right now, and it works. You can do this on your very next Facebook post. On your next Facebook post, when you look for these photos that have the positive emotion, I want you to add a positive quote from a famous person. Just by adding a quote, you can increase your virality by 10 times to 100 times just by adding a positive quote from a famous person. So let me give you an example. This photo here we posted on our Costa Rica page. So this man kissing his cow, it's obviously got a positive emotion, but we posted it with no quote and it only got 27 likes. We posted the same photo on the same page 1 week later, and all we did was we added this quote. Whenever we manage to love without expectations, calculations, negotiations, we are indeed in heaven, from the 13th century poet Rumi, and it got 1,798 likes. You can literally get 100 times more likes just by adding the positive quote from a famous person. But it doesn't stop there, because the positive quote can also improve the emotional charge. You can increase the emotional charge. So a similar example, we posted this same photo 1 week apart, once without a quote. It got 14 likes. With the quote, you know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams, from one of my favorite authors, Dr. Seuss. It got 4,485 likes.
And imagine if you were a relationship coach.
Yeah.
And you posted that post, right? And this is what my private client did. She posted one of Bret's yoga pictures with her commitment to help women lose weight. And she sent people back to her free gift. And I think she was telling me, Bret, that she's got over 400 or 500 people on her mailing list now just from doing these Facebook posts.
Wow.
These inspiring Facebook posts with quotes about loving your body and you are what you eat, and then linking back to her free gift, which is like 30 days to conscious fitness, weight loss or something. And she's building her list and converting people into paying clients. And so some of you might be asking, okay, great. So I have likes on my page. How does that translate? It translates. And that's the way it translates.
And I love your tribe. I mean, you have some of the best conscious business owners out there. But what I really love about your tribe is you inspire people to take action. And when every time that I hear of people who are working with you, they're like, Sage is so great. She made me do it, and oh my gosh, I got the best results. And that's what I love about it, because it's real. It's real. You take action and you can do it, and that's what I love about you, Sage. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So here we go. So what I'm going to give you right now, here's your first free gift. So your top 15, my top 15 all-time most viral photo templates. So remember, this is curated from 4 pages across 2.4 million likes. And all you need to do is go to this URL to get them, www.profitfbads.com. And you go to that web URL and you can get these photo template. It'll come in a PowerPoint template, but you can open it with Keynote, or if you don't have either, you can open it with openoffice.org. And you can see here, like this example, this kitty doing half moon crescent. We did this photo with the quote, when you find peace within yourself, you could become the kind of person that can live at peace with others. And it reached over 312,000 people. It got 13,000 likes. So you will get these photos. You don't need anybody's permission. You can go in there, you can edit the photos, you put your own web URL in there, you put your own photo quote in there. Some are wide and some are tall, but they're all viral photos. They've all been tested and they've all gone viral. So when you go in there, go in and replace the web URL that comes on the photo with your web URL. It's defaulted to mine, but this is not about me. This is about you. So please put your web URL in there. And here's another one. So Profit Ads. And you might say, Bret, that's great. In this photo album stack, if I'm posting 4 or 5 photos at a time and you gave me 15, I'm going to be out in about 3 or 4 posts. And I say, yeah, so here's some other free resources for you. So one website that I love is called Canva.com. So if you are out of photos and you need more photos, you can get them from Canva.com. And that's going to allow you to, they also have several 100,000 more photos that you can use. But the cool thing about Canva is you can write on the photos. They have this very simple software that allows you to write on the photos. The next thing is, my favorite place to find viral photos is Flickr. So you may not know this, but if you go to Flickr.com and you do a search like nature images, smiling children, world travel, you can filter for a Creative Commons license. And what that means is that you've already been given permission to use the photos. You can even filter by modifications allowed, which means you can write on the photos without asking for their permission. All you have to do is give credit to the photographer and their link. There are 60 million Creative Commons photos in here.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but when people donate $25 to the rainforest, they're going to get 35 more.
They're going to get,
from you. They're going to get 50.
The top 50, my top
50. Awesome.
Top 50 all-time most viral photo posts. That's right. So, awesome. And these are the best ones that I've tested that work really great. So I would love to have you donate to the rainforest. I love that cause. And so you'll see there. I mean, there's beautiful photos on Flickr, and you're never ever going to run out. So after doing this, Sage, for over 8 years, I started asking the question, what is it that makes some photos go super viral? And what I mean by that is when you see a photo that has gotten over 100,000 likes or comments or shares, or even on Twitter, it could be tweets or YouTube views, it doesn't matter. 100,000 or more is super viral by my definition. what is it about those photos that are different than the other ones? And it turns out the answer is very interesting. So this is an example of a photo that went super viral. And many people may recognize this photo because it was shared millions of times all around the world. And it's a man who loved his dog. His name's John. His dog, 18-year-old German Shepherd named Shep. He would take his dog suffering from severe arthritis on a very short walk every day. And at the end of the walk, he would take his dog into Lake Superior, and Shep would fall asleep peacefully in his arms. All he did was care for his animal, and it went, and not only did it get 350,000 likes, not only did it get 200,000 shares, but it got picked up by news stations and then got spread really virally. It was seen by millions and millions of people. And he simply took one of his ordinary daily activities and put it on Facebook. And what I discovered is that there's a super viral content formula. So every time you see a photo that gets at least 100,000 likes, it almost invariably follows this formula. And it's a story with a photo of a selfless act of love, kindness, and generosity. Photo with a story of selfless acts of love, kindness, and generosity. And you can, if you want to see a Facebook page that does this really, really well, go to Upworthy.com, or excuse me, Upworthy on Facebook. They only post stories of selfless acts of love, kindness, and generosity. Forget CNN, forget all the news stations, all the negative news that comes in. It's all the positive ones. And guess what? That's what shares the best. Isn't that amazing? And this led me to ask a very fundamental question. Why do we share content in the first place? And after doing a tremendous amount of research, I finally figured out the answer. And the answer is people want to be perceived as selfless, kind, and benevolent. We want to be perceived this way. And then I asked the fundamental question, well, why do we want to be perceived this way? And it turns out that to share is human. Wanting to be perceived this way is fundamentally human. And the reason why is actually evolutionary in nature. And the reason is that by being perceived as this kind of person, people are attempting to move up in social status. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, by moving up in social status, people have the best chance at gaining resources. So let's roll the evolutionary clock back about 10,000 years when we're budding Homo sapiens in hunter-gatherer societies and tribes. And let's say you're at the top of the evolutionary, or top of the social status. You're a high priestess, or you're a shaman, or you're the chief. You have the best chance of getting food, water, shelter, finding a mate, reproducing, and passing along your genes. Let's say you're on the opposite end of that spectrum. Worst off, you get kicked out of the tribe. What are your chances of finding food, water, shelter, surviving, and finding a mate and reproducing? Well, it's very low, and those genes died off. And what we find is that in how that manifests itself today is we now want to move up in social status, and you can be a famous author and gain resources. You can be a famous coach. You could be, there's all sorts of ways to capitalize on that. And it turns out that the mechanism that inspires us to drive us to try and gain resources is ingrained in our physiology. And so this is physiological motivation, not psychological, physiological. And it comes in the form of these 4 chemicals that our brain produces that we can generally call happiness. And the first one is endorphins. So our brain produces these endorphins, and that's what helps us with endurance. So when we have whether you're running a marathon or whether you're trying to get to 10,000 likes, it's not easy, and it takes endurance. And endorphins are the things that actually allow us to mask the pain and get through that endurance that we need to survive as humans. The next one is dopamine. Now, dopamine is highly addictive, but interestingly, when you put out a post and it gets a like, you get a tiny, tiny molecule of dopamine. And don't think that Facebook doesn't know this. It's actually really addictive, but what our body is doing is it's giving us a rewarding behavior to take an action that it thinks is going to help us with our survival. And it indeed may. The next is serotonin. And what serotonin does for us is when we get recognition, when we get recognition on someone's Facebook page, or when you recognize your customers, they get a little bit of serotonin, and it gets us to continue. It feels really good, and it gets us continue to want to get more of that recognition. And that manifests itself dramatically online through Facebook of people commenting on our posts, gives us a little serotonin. People sharing it, tagging us, all of that gives us a little bit of serotonin. And then the last is oxytocin. And oxytocin is the chemical where if you are giving someone a hug for 20 seconds, our brains release oxytocin. It's that feeling of trust and love and together when we're together with another human being. Interestingly, you can actually get oxytocin when you're on Facebook connecting with your friends. So no one looks at this photo of Shep and John and says to themselves consciously, oh, I'm going to share that so that people think that I'm a kind, benevolent person, which will help me move up in social status and ultimately help me gain more resources. That's not how our brain works. But what does happen is subconsciously, through the expression of these 4 chemicals, that's exactly what our brain tells us to do. And therefore, so this is the part that you should write down. People share content that represents the way we want to be perceived. But it doesn't stop there, because people share content that helps them move up in social status, remember, subconsciously. But people also share stories that help them move up in social status. People share ideas. People share services. People share referrals that help them move up in social status. People will share you if it will help them move up in social status. The world's greatest marketing is to have a shareable product or service. The world's greatest marketing is for you to add the most value you can for your customers. And the best way to do that on social media is to have a purpose-based business, is through your purpose-based brand and to use purpose-based marketing. So the best thing that you can do to have a shareable product or service is to have a mission that helps people represent the way they want to be perceived. And as my friend Ryan Berman, who's CEO of a company called Idea, says, better companies make a better world. So what I want you to do, what I want to leave you with today, is I want you to start a movement for positive change. I mean, look at what Sage is doing right now with the business. Doing well by doing good is one of the best things that we can do, and that's what's going to help you. That's what's really going to help you get your business to go viral. So your 5-minute exercise on your very next Facebook post, this is what I want you to do. I want you to post your own story of you performing a selfless act of love, kindness, generosity, or heroism. Now remember, you don't have to fly halfway across the world to do something exorbitant or extravagant. You can do what John and Shep did. He walked his dog, and it inspired millions of people. You can decide, I'm going to smile at people today. Do that on your next Facebook post and challenge everybody to do the same. You could say, I'm going to read to my children tonight. In this example here, one thing that I decided to do is fundamentally put in, every time I go on vacation, I'm going to find a local school and donate something around $20. So I did that recently with my friends. We went on a surf trip to Mexico. We each donated $20. We bought soccer balls for all the kids. Not only did it make me feel really good, not only did it dramatically change their lives, they're never going to forget that, nor am I, but when we posted on our Facebook, it got almost 200 likes without any advertising. And what it does is it attracts the people who value what I value. So you will attract the people who value what you value by doing this.
I love it. And it's such a good build on what Neil and Panache really prepared us for with starting your business out in generosity. You know, because when we're building purpose-based businesses, none of us want to come off as salesy or trying to get one rung up on the social ladder. You know, we're in it for the right reasons. We want to change the world. And so what Bret's really giving you guys is a strategy to be in that generosity. And when you post those generous acts of kindness on Facebook with the quotes and the photos, you'll be attracting your people. They'll get you, right? And then when you offer them a free gift, or you offer to follow up with them, or you offer them a free chat, that's when you get to talk to them about your services, if they're a match for your services. And so it all links back to your message. And if you're still kind of letting your message, if your message is still evolving, let it evolve and start building a fan base on Facebook anyway. And when your message lands inside you and you're like, that's what I want to sell, you'll have a whole tribe of followers waiting and curious about what it is that you're up to. And if you need support clarifying your message, take me up on those 2 tickets to the Women's Leadership Summit that you're going to get when you donate to the Rainforest. And Bret has a couple of really awesome gifts and trainings that you're going to get when you donate to the Rainforest. And I know one of them is that they're going to get 50 of your top most viral Facebook posts. And I think you're also giving us a free course in Facebook marketing. Can you tell us a little bit about what they get when they donate to the Rainforest?
Yeah, absolutely. When you donate to the Rainforest, you'll get my course, Facebook Marketing for Newbies. And what it teaches you is how to set up your first profitable Facebook page step by step in under 5 minutes. And it's the way to really do it right so that you get it right the first time, or if you need to make a new page, it'll really help you a lot. And, I loved absolutely everything that you just said, Sage. And what I also want to encourage you to do and remind you is that every day you probably do acts of generosity and kindness and love that are really the most post-worthy things that you do. Many times we don't even think about it. We say, no, I have to post my next launch or my next product or service. No, post what your selfless acts of love and kindness and generosity are. Those should be your best posts. They also will be your most viral post, and that's what's going to get you discovered online, and that's what's going to attract the right kind of customers to you.
I love it. I absolutely love it. What I want to really leave our people with, Bret, before we sign off for today and leave you guys to have an extraordinary evening. We'll be coming back tomorrow with some incredible female evolutionary entrepreneurs. But when you first got started, Bret, and you didn't have a tribe yet, and you didn't have a following yet, and you were spending 12 or 14 hours a day on Facebook hoping that you could make this thing work, what do you wish somebody had said to you that would keep you on the path toward building the $1 million company that you have today?
That's awesome. And what I wish that somebody would have shown me how to do is to really give, and for free, go and approach people who are influential in the area that I wanted to grow in and offer my services to them for free. I stumbled on that, well into my work, but I think that would have really made my growth happen so much faster. And it is on that premise of giving. And so I just, would tell you, go and offer your services to someone who can help you grow your business with no expectations in return. And what I do is I would go to somebody and say, hey, I would love to help you. And if you think that my services were great, and here's the 5 magic words, my 5 most powerful words I've ever heard in marketing, don't keep me a secret. And so I said, if you love our work, please do a post on Facebook or share me with your list, and that's only if you think my services were valuable. And that's an incredible way to get started in business.
I could not agree more. I think that's just one of the best absolute pieces of advice you could have left our audience with. When you give to those people that can really help you, rather than being like, will you help me? Will you help me? What could you do for me?
Right.
Instead, take the opposite viewpoint and say, how can I help you? When I first met Suzanne Falter-Barnes and Jeffrey Van Dyke years ago, they had this incredible 500-person event going on called the Spiritual Marketing Quest. And I said, I want to come. I'll help you do anything. I'll just whatever. I'll work in the back of the room. I'll MC from stage. I ended up MCing several of their events. Fast forward a few months, Suzanne sent me my first 10,000 subscribers into my mailing list because I showed up in selfless service of her mission rather than finding out what could she do for me. And Bret's story of just showing up and being in service is exactly what we want to leave you with today. So number one thing, Bret's challenge to you is to, say it one more time, Bret, to go do a selfless act of service and post about it on Facebook.
That's right.
Yep.
So, and it could be one you've already done.
Awesome.
Post about it on Facebook.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And start this day of evolutionary entrepreneurs out in this spirit of generosity together as a tribe. So post on the Facebook, what is it that you're going to do, or what is an experience of selfless generosity that you're now going to share with the world, and have an incredible night. We are going to be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock with the women evolutionary entrepreneurs of this series. We've got incredible women coming up for you. We've got Rika Zimmerman, who is a total incredible energy-based marketer. She does all this crazy woo-woo stuff with sending energy through people's email inboxes to get them to open up their emails. We've got Jennifer McLean of Healing with a Masters that has built one of the largest telesummit-based businesses in the industry. She reaches hundreds of thousands of people, and I have already prepped her. She says she's going to be more authentic on her interview tomorrow than she's almost ever been on her interviews. She's always just so down to earth. And we're going to bring you Lynn Twist, who is just my dear mentor and friend, who I got to spend time with in Ecuador last year with the Achuar people, the indigenous people, the tribal people of the rainforest. And Lynn's going to be really talking to you about your relationship with money and how to heal some of those places where you want to push away money because of the harm that you see money is doing on our planet. And so we're going to be doing a bunch of abundance and money healing tomorrow, and bringing you a bunch of feminine wisdom. And I'm really excited for those of you guys that have donated $25 to the rainforest to grab Bret's Facebook course, Marketing for Newbies, because it is epic. It's good. It's going to get you going. And Bret, thank you so much for gifting that training. I know it's super valuable. And if you have not already donated to the rainforest, all you have to do is just click the Donate Now button. It's going to take your credit card, $25, and you'll get directed to all of the free gifts, which includes 2 tickets to my live event for those of you women entrepreneurs who want to come dial in your marketing message in March. Bret, I love you so much. Thank you. You've been so generous with your wisdom. I can't wait for these guys to learn more from you and dive in more with your training. I know you're really busy. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I will see you in Costa Rica.
I will see you in Costa Rica. I love you. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Bye, everyone. We will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Same time, same place as today. Have an awesome night. Go give your selfless acts of generosity and go be evolutionary. See you tomorrow.